Sit in a comfortable position. Leave the modeling clay close to you and in order: yellow, brown, orange, and red. Close your eyes. Take about 3 long, deep breaths. Imagine that your parents made love. Your soul approached. A huge cell welcomed you as if they were colored soap bubbles. These bubbles were multiplying and you started to form. Five days have passed and still the colored bubbles are multiplying. It seems that it is for you to remember the universe where you came from. By the 7th day, you are stuck to your mother. Receiving blood from her and soon starting to form the big tube that you will become. Take the yellow modeling clay. This is the endoderm. Now, with the clay in your hand, start to feel what happens. A part of your heart, your valves, start there. Start to tone. In a little while, it will be the sound throughout your life. Did you have an event in the first 7 or 10 days after its conception? Didn't something go well? Remember, it is the baby's brain that organizes or disorganizes the formation of organs according to what its mother lived. If something happened, remove a thin skin from the yellow clay and say, I love you, heart. You are perfect. When you feel that everything is fine, that the valve is fine, go back to the yellow tube. Now, the digestive tract will be made. The tongue, the strongest part of the mouth, the cheek inside, the palate, the salivary glands, the tonsils, the parotids, the pharynx, the very end of the esophagus, the large part of the bottom of the stomach that does a lot to digest and store what comes. The small intestine which absorbs everything. Some choices happen in the liver, but others go straight to the blood. A part of the pancreas happens at this time. Just in that part where it helps to digest in the liver, in the large intestine until the rectum. This is all being done so that you can eat. Soon you will be drinking liquid from your mother. In these first 15 days, did something happen? With your hands, imagine each organ and feel like the blind do, perceiving with your fingers. The tongue, the mouth, the salivary glands, the amygdala, the parotids, the small end of the esophagus, stomach, and the small intestine, the ileum, and the jejunum. They will pull whatever it takes for you from what you swallowed. The pancreas that digest, the liver, and the part that also digest, the colon that partly absorbs water and partly eliminates everything that the body didn't think it needs. Feel, imagine each of these parts. Make the part that isn't perfect with your hands. Talk to it softly. Talk to the cells in this part mentally. Tell it mentally that everything is fine now, that you are making a new and perfect. Say that now it's free from memories that are not good. Now you take care of the training, the perfection. Say how much you love each part of this body that digests and eliminates. Say that love solves everything. Only love has the right to order. You, with your love, are now ordering the health of all these parts. And in your time, go back to the yellow clay. Now, the eyes are being made in its framework. The tear ducts are being made, the ear too. They are vital parts of your survival to see and hear, just like a fish that needs these senses to survive. Mentally, form this image over and over and see if they look right. If you don't form with your hands an imagination, an all-seeing eye, an all-hearing ear, tell them, I can see, I can hear, I come from the stars, I saw so many worlds that nothing can be difficult for me to see or hear, because I love my eyes, I love my ear, and my love is the order. Now, notice that the pineal gland is stimulated by rhythm, light and dark. It's the one that connects with our crown chakra. The adenyohypophysis regulates breast milk production and oxytocin release. Thyroid controls metabolism. Parathyroid controls calcium. Part of the adrenal controls adrenaline. See each gland in your body and remodel with clay the one that wasn't well formed by something that your mother was going through at that time. Now, tell it mentally, you can do it again, because I love you. You will be happy, secreting what I need, as much as I need. My love covers you with infinite sweetness and frees you from an old pattern, which doesn't let you be as the creation imagined you. Now, breathe deeply and gently 3 times. Contact the pharynx and the pulmonary alveoli. They were created at this time, in this first month. They are preparing for the world. We are air mammals. This is our life. To come to life is to breathe, to feel your lungs so small, and also feel their vital force when they were created. Did your mother believe that you would be someone full of energy and with a respectable voice? Or was she feeling small, little expanded, sad, not believing in life? Now, breathe gently into this little lung on the breath of the Creator who lives in you, and make any sadness go away. Make it expand, because the love is there in each breath. You are already a month old. Now, your urogenital system is being formed. Your renal tubes that determine whether water leaves your body or not. The bladder trigones that are the taps of the ureters for the bladder and the bladder for the urethra. For men, it's at this moment that the prostate is formed, which will always be aware of the survival of the offspring. The foreskin that will take care to protect the penis. These vital organs also keep the memory lived in the first month. For women, all your egg cell that will leave month after month after you start menstruating until you become pregnant. They will be witnesses and will be in charge of the memories that the DNA carries and of everything inside the womb that will happen during pregnancy. The inner part of fallopian tubes that conducts the fertilized egg and feeds it. The endometrium, the layer that receives and feeds the baby and the one that menstruates. What memories do you feel in these organs? Do you feel that some of your organs suffered from the insecurity of being generated in this moment by your mother because you lacked an impulse of willpower and love when your father conceived you? Say, mold and recreate what isn't right. Create the vital part of creation in us. Tell your organs that you love them. If they lacked security and appreciation at the time, now you are giving them all of that. Now, take the brown clay and start to know who came from the old mesoderm in the 3rd week of pregnancy. The pericardium that lines your heart, the pleura, the meninges that line your lung, and the dermis. Right now, everything that protects your organs and the organs that protect your body are being made. They are thick, resistant skins, ready to protect such noble organs. At this moment, How was the sense of protection in your mother's life? Was she safe? Was she thinking that everything would work out and trusting in the protection of life? If it wasn't, so now imagine what place of this body was carrying the mark of insecurity. Model this place with this clay. Talk to it and say that everything is fine and safe, that you survived, and all of this is a party, that you love all the tissues that protect you. Take the orange clay. At about 16 days, primitive blood cells appear. Now you know that your blood starts to circulate. This is an important communication of the bonds, the blood ties. You become part of your clay. How does it welcome you? Is it good to be of this blood? If there was hurt at this time of pregnancy among family members regarding acceptance of pregnancy, now tell them. At this time, fine vessels merge until the heart is formed. First, the formation of the cardiac tube, that after several transformations, the human heart is formed, and finally, the contract and dilate, forcing the blood to circulate. Now feel the rhythm and the sound of life. From now on, this is the compass of your life. Always listen to it. It will lead you to the goals of your soul in this life. In the 5th week, the formation of the vessels begins. In the 6th week, the heart is ready. How was this moment in your mother's life? Was she hurt? If this happened, now say softly to the tiny heart that you carved, tell to let go of all the hurts, to be free and filled with love. In its first month, its holographic structure is already being formed. Your arms too. Put your heads on your mother's womb. Do you feel welcomed? Do you really want to hug your mother? Do you feel that she seeks you with her hands on her belly as if she received a hug? Isn't she available for you to rest your head? Tell her that at this moment and for some time you were counting on her in your life. That she could still give you a million of hugs because you love her and you love her skeleton, her muscles, tendons, and ganglia. You love every river that runs through your body, taking whatever it is. They're beloved rivers. If at any time they flinch, at 2 months of pregnancy, your fingers are already formed and separated, as well as the wrist and elbow. You are starting to embrace life. What will you do? Do you realize that your mother appreciates being pregnant? Does she feel like a woman of value? What impressions do you feel about your bones, muscles, veins, ganglia, and spleen? It's here that the impressions of devaluation that exist should no longer remain on any finger. Imagine them all and say that you're proud, they're full of love. Take the red clay. In the 3rd week, your brain starts to mature with 18 days of pregnancy. It will be the leader of the adaptations of the genetic code. If there's any big problem with your mother, it will order a change in your body that works as a solution to the problem that she's living. So if there was something, say that you don't need this change anymore. Everything can be reversed. Love determines that each organ and each tissue is functional as the Creator did when imagining the wonder that is our body. In the 6th week, you already have eyes, nose, and vocal cords. Now you see, if there is light, hear the sounds of your mother, and even have hiccups. You already begin to feel your mother's language on the vocal cords. Finally, the structure for relations with the world is already with you. Between the 4th and the 5th month, the vocal cords already work. The eyes and ears have reached their final location. The bones of the inner ear and the nerve endings in the brain are already mature enough so that you can hear some sounds such as heartbeat and flowing blood flowing through the umbilical cord. Now it's possible to relate sensorily. The world is getting closer. At this time, how does your mother feel? What does she look at? What do you hear? Is your heart at peace, or is it racing and tense? If your eyes and ears haven't seen or heard pleasant things, now you tell them to be absolutely healthy. You love them, and this love is strong enough to regenerate the structures because you have the authority that is given by love for it to regenerate. There is no time. There is only the desire for love. How many years have passed? It doesn't matter. You order today for any time. From the 14th to the 24th week, the adipose tissue is forming very quickly to cover the whole body. All the softness coating you will be remembered for a lifetime, and that what we love deserves to be wrapped in softness. With 11 weeks inside your little body, all the organs are already in place. Now it's just growing. If in this moment your mother wasn't well, now grow to the joy of yourself, the planet, the universe, the great love that surrounds us. Breathe deeply and gently 3 times. Feel your toes. Feel the fingers of your hands. Move your toes. Move the fingers of your hands in your time. Open your eyes.